You know,
I didn't hit one like that yesterday, not one. With the 3 wood, yes, but not. Only 2 clubs that I hit straight. Only 2 clubs I hit straight was the 3 wood and the rescue.
I mean, something like this where you were hitting the majority of irons would throw the timing out, particularly if they're different, feel different. And the grip size is too thin, blah, blah, blah. Everything in golf has to be, you know, golfers are very, very, very sensitive people. They're the ones that don't even know that they are. You know, as golfers, we're so fragile. Everything in our bubble has to feel nice.
But I did feel nice, and I was positive, and I wanted to play, and I started throwing clubs again, pissed off, but I was so angry. I didn't throw yours. Because that driver there, I just actually felt like getting in and smashing it, which would be bad.
Yeah.
Because these feel good, but they feel heavier, Chris. I don't know why.
I know. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have hit one like that yesterday. Not one.
123.4 yards.
Okay, you need to soften your hands. I think because the grips are too thin, your grip's gone tight.
Yeah.
With a tight grip, you don't look comfortable in that position. The left leg's fantastic.
I felt left leg.
Yeah, I think that's good.
He said I slide.
Right.
But I don't understand how I can walk there and swing any different from what I've been swinging. Yeah, I can understand on the driver, but not on the irons.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, you can't, you know, that's like someone saying, you know.
Yeah, he said it out of context.
Of course he did.
Do you mind what if I said,
Yeah.
I don't mind, of course I don't mind. He said you were sliding, and I said I didn't feel.
Yeah.
And I hit the one bunker shot, and I was in the bunker, and I specifically watched this, and this whole left leg rotated after I hit it in the bunker.
There you go.
So as I hit it, it rotated around like that, so I couldn't have slid
No.
to have hit that. I can maybe understand on the driver because it looks like I do.
Yeah.
But on the irons, there's no way that I do.
What we're more concerned with is at the point of impact what your left leg's doing. So maybe he saw after impact a bit of a collapse, but we're not overly concerned about that. Although.
Because if I just didn't feel that I got the position that we wanted, and I haven't. That felt to me like a little bit more position.
Well, the main thing I did see that was different. You looked a little bit softer in your hands there, as if you were sort of just loading the shaft a bit better. Because although these are dynamic gold extra stiff, they're a different kind of extra stiff because they're tour issue.
Have you heard that?
No.
See, because I don't feel yet that we're getting that position there. We're not even close to it.
I think we are.
Do you think we are?
I think we are, yeah. Yeah. Just try and get your hands flexing. Yeah. No, but your pace is good there.
122.5 yards.
It's great. 84. Good pace. I mean, that's just a weak swing. Yeah, I like it. I mean, the left leg isn't really, it's not collapsing massively. So we need wrist hinge.
132.7 yards.
Yeah. I'd like to see your wrist hinge at the top. That's the only bit that I can see that
It was a good swing that one.
it was.
What's the flight like on these ones?
Okay. Perfect spin. 5-2.
I guarantee if we get that 8 out of mine, it will pump up.
That is perfect spin. 33 yards high.
But high, but that's because I haven't steered, as you said. I haven't.
Well, that's 1 yard high is what there. I'm not going to grumble at that.
Such a different weight. Such a different weight.
Carry 127.0
4-6.
yards.
That was pretty good. Vertical launch was good. You cut that a bit thin though, didn't you?
I didn't feel it. Maybe the
30 yards high.
maybe that was the ball that came off the club.
Yeah. So you can just soften the hands at the top.
I think because I'm
Completely. It's a great wrist hinge.
Carry
maybe we were losing a little
127.7
bit.
yards.
Yeah. There we go.
You see, I think as I got 10 saves, isn't it?
33 yards. So the height is the same. Clippered speed was great. Yes.
Whittier.
That's a better wrist hinge. Nice left leg as well.
I still don't think it's going quick enough, but what do you think?
I think, yeah, it could be, because we're going for perfection. It's not perfect yet by no means, but it's about 70% there.
So, how, the sort of grip on the club then, how would you say would be? Maybe I was gripping it too tight.
I think at the top, not at address, I think at the top of the backswing. You need to wait for the wrist to hinge. So you need to be a bit more patient to load the shaft. Give your hands time to flex. Beautiful. Beautiful wrist hinge.
126 points.
See the spin? Yeah, I mean the rule of thumb here, which is stated everywhere, as a rule, 7,000 RPM of a 6-line backspin is considered to be too much spin, where the player will have difficulty controlling the distance and trajectory.
Okay, I've got an 8.
Yeah. But anything of around about that sort of spin.
So maybe I should put a 6 in my hand.
Yeah, let's try it with 6.
Sorry.
No. Not.
What are you going to do with me? Eh? What are you going to do with me?
Oh, I'm making you into a golfer. Look at that wrist hinge there.
That was a good one, yeah.
Your backswing can be very patient. If your backswing's patient, so you've got power, that's your asset. Power. It's almost like Simon. Simon has not got power, he's got to use this, because he's small, he's got to use his speed element. He doesn't like that, whereas you can swing like Big Ernie. You got to think Big Ernie. The Ernie ooze, yeah.
But it makes sense what you're saying. See, that's what happened yesterday, so it's because of the weight.
Yeah.
Carry 147.7 yards.
That's nice. It's a better wrist hinge. Legs are great
It's
there.
a massive shoulder turn, that.
It's great. Look how firm the shaft is. Super. 93 miles an hour.
I think so.
Mhm. Lovely, lovely.
Well, the different guys who were just standing on the tee yesterday, so how the hell is that
0
then?
yards.
Why is it?
Confidence. You need to go out there with a swing thought. But you were experimenting. You didn't know what was going to happen with these clubs. You didn't know how they were going to feel, how they were going to respond.
I just hope
It's
I'm
like-
swinging like that on the golf course. I can't see how I'm going to swing any differently.
Well, it's unlikely. It's unlikely. Let's try it with...
So what should be causing those rights then?
just when you're hitting the golf ball at impact. Oh, right, not lefts.
Didn't do any lefts yesterday.
Oh, that would be complete lack of wrist movement. Total lack of... Because unless these wrists flex, you haven't got anything to square the club up with. No, it's just a...
I'm going to hit just to prove the point. I'm going to hit like what I was hitting yesterday with wrist with tight hands.
Yeah.
That will show us. The last one yesterday. That's not right.
Yeah, it's very blocky. It's just a very blocky looking steery swing.
Clear 137.6.
It's like going down the last for the British Open, you got to try and get it on the green. That's how it looked, very steery. Very tight at the top there.
But the reason why I think that my leg has been okay is because I get back and I've got my leg is twingy, which means that I've been using right, really working,
Mm,
which 6 months ago I wouldn't have felt anything in my leg. So,
completely.
yeah, so
That's a great wrist hinge.
I felt
Great wrist hinge.
You see, I've got the trajectory now.
Clear 143.7 yards.
Yeah. Got the clubs now going. And that enables you to hang on to that wrist hinge. Great with the left leg.
Nothing else has changed, has it?
Nope. Nope.
Because I
Okay,
just
listen.
feel that because I'm hitting that amount of balls, I just can't feel that with my experience at this week
No.
it disappeared. It wasn't like what we were doing
No.
before, like that.
No. These grips are very thin compared to yours.
But the wrist hinge, I think, is what we call the issue.
So just wait for the shaft to load at the top.
The more anxious you get, the less you
Completely. Yeah. Great. Great.
put
Clear
more structure in that swing.
157.6.
Well, you've got your lever back there. Great.
Much more explosion in that.
Yeah.
Than that.
Yeah.
I felt on that one I was hitting through the ball.
That was power. There was power with that. Not speed, but there was power. The speed was at the bottom. There. Beautiful. Great golf swing. Great power.
Clear 151.5 yards.
Good wrist hinge. Good lag. Great lag.
A bit of swing, wasn't it?
Beautiful. Beautiful. I like it. I like it.
I like it, TV.
There's a lot that you can, there's a lot of learning. You're sort of finding a lot more out. That round, Sure, the score was disaster, but you can take a lot from it. You can take a lot from it. There's subtle, there's hidden little bits of knowledge there. Oh yeah. It's timing.
148.6 yards.
Not quite enough wrist. Oh, good on impact though. It's just that the only thing is that because of the wrist hinge not being sufficient, the hands are just a little bit behind the club head when you hit the ball, and that will just make it go left. So it's caused by that, but as a result of not having enough there. Did you feel the grip tighten coming down?
No, I
did.
just felt that I sort of was holding on to it a little bit more.
Yeah. I saw the grip tighten though, coming down. Great there, but then it just goes, see, just a bit early.
But that was a big 6 on that.
Massive. So if you got to the top, that's it, just complete that. That's it.
That's the one you have, I think.
Oh yeah.
That's the one, isn't it?
Yeah.
147.05.
Beautiful. There we go. Andrew's back. Look at that. Now that's a lot more wrist hinge there. That's more like it. If we could have just one more frame.
We've seen the position.
Yeah. Look at that left leg though. Much better. Right, let's get the driver out.
There we go. I think Simon's actually having doubts that I can actually shoot double off that big.
It doesn't matter, does it? He's in his own game, and I know you can. I know you can shoot under par, for Christ's sake. There's no doubt. But it's doing it without it being forced. That's the thing. You can force a score when the chips are down and you're playing bad and you walk off with 3 over par. You know, you've worked hard for that round. We're going to get under par. We're going to get level par, and you're going to walk off and think, that was a bit easy. That's where we're at.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
Because I didn't feel yesterday that my swing was bad. I really didn't.
I don't think it.
Last week it was really good, but this week was. Should I hit one like I did yesterday, and then you can see?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a lock-up.
Carry 203.7 yards.
Yeah. It's just tight. There's no slide there. It's just tight hands.
Because I didn't swing any differently to that. I hit another one.
And the tempo was beautiful. You didn't force it. You didn't slide.
But yesterday, standing on the tee.
Yeah, yeah, it's just a choker.
Carry 192.6 yards.
It's just a choker. You look too tight in the hands.
Okay, so I'm going to just lighten my hands now, right?
I can, let me just grip your club. Right. If you grab that club and just give it a twist. Right. That's my grip pressure. There. So I've got traction, but you can see that you've been able to twist the head. So that's my normal grip, and that club face is square, so you could twist it to sort of 10 o'clock. So at the top of my backswing, there, that's the grip pressure I've got. Head, give it a twist. So it's to enable my wrist to set properly. So when you're ready, if you got to the top of your backswing. Yeah, that's too tight. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's all it was, Andrew. That's all it was.
I'm speechless.
If I could warm you up, Andrew, if I could warm you up before you go and play, just give you that couple of good swing thoughts.
Because that was just easy there.
It's effortless. Effortless. Do you normally use a glove when you play?
I do, but I can use either with or without. So I just haven't put it on, so it doesn't matter to me.
You don't feel that there's any...
Difference. I can use it or not use it.
I think potentially with a glove, you'll get the glove traction, which will enable you to grip it a bit looser. I think...
It's up to you. I really don't mind either way.
I think you've got, obviously, you've got very strong hands, so for you to grip a club light is not a problem. Not a problem at all.
I can either have with or with.
Yeah.
It's been brought up that way, so, when we were growing up, there weren't always gloves available, so we always, I think today's modern golfers get spoiled a little bit.
Oh, of course. We're a bunch of softies now.
We've got so much technology.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite a stick.
Yeah.
Rubbery. One of mine's in the cross. That's a bit more rubbery. That's cool.
Yeah. Right. So, if you go back up again.
Now I'm going to hold it pretty light
Yeah.
to start, right?
Great. Bit loosen. That's it. That's it. That's it. Great. Just so that you can feel that being able to have. Grip.
190.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Much better. Much better with the hands. Beautiful.
I just don't feel that I'm sliding, and I
You're
can't
not.
understand how I can go to the golf course and slide.
You're not. You didn't.
A little bit harder.
Yeah, but don't do it through grip pressure. And you did. You did. Just a bit at the top. And when you pulled it down,
Did I grab it?
196.3 yards.
it was. It was. It's great. Great swing. That's not a slide at impact. No. You know me by now.
I didn't feel. I felt that my leg was sore. I felt I was pulling my leg back. And if I sliding to me is.
Of course it is. We've seen your left leg like that at impact. The fact that we're seeing it after impact a bit, well.
And I think the fact that this leg is spinning around the I'm not going to swing my 5-iron out the bunker because I hit it hard. Any different
No.
I'm going to hit the driver.
No.
So that left leg is pivoting that way.
Completely.
I think what happened was because I was getting tense, holding my hands were like ready to.
Tight hands. Yeah. Tight hands.
Clear 191.0 yards.
It's just not allowing the club to set at the top.
That's right. Beautiful impact. Beautiful impact.
Because it didn't feel as if, you know, when you feel as if you hit a top one.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's a
really-
classic.
That was when
It's
I was
tension.
really trying to force it.
So if you hold the club up in front of you, and now just hinge the wrists up. Now to get that kind of wrist hinge, could you see how soft you gripped it? Try it again, choke it, and now try and hinge. It's much harder, isn't it? This whole area here just tightens up too much. Soft hands. That's just head up.
Clear 171.3 yards.
It's better. Better. Great swing. Great swing.
Got that.
Swing with not fear. You've got nothing to worry about. You've got to get that mindset back. It's good.
I get that tattooed on my hand. My wife would have also got it. I don't care. That's what one friend of mine had. It's something written in Latin. He's a fitness instructor.
Is he?
And when he's to his clients, he shows them this, and it's written in Latin about it's either pushing or whatever
Yeah.
it is, or what you need, don't give up. And that's
Yeah. Brilliant.
swing without fear, I think,
Yeah.
is really important. But I think I was swinging with
You did. You steered it. Yeah. You got very steery. Right. Loose hands.
yeah, trying to step it a little bit more.
It's lovely. Yeah. Do it. Don't steer. There we go. And if you keep making that backswing, your timing will just come into its own. It's a much better movement.
And I think
Swing without fear.
you know, if you just analyze it, let us establish why the ball's going right. The ball's going right is because the face is open at impact. If
Correct.
the swing is not complete at the top, as you say, no matter how much I do with this leg,
Yeah.
the only way for me to get it out of that is to turn my hand and then I'll snap with it.
Brilliant. Best what places.
There is no other way, isn't it?
Correct.
I can understand now that if the swing gets shorter, tighter,
Yeah.
you hear the movement is exactly the same. But
Exactly.
Like so many balls, the movement has
Yeah.
to be the same. It can't suddenly be different.
It's not. It's
I
not.
didn't feel yesterday that
No.
so I was swinging at this. You know me with tempo. I think
Of
you're
course.
a computer with tempo, so I'm not going to be any different. There.
No.
And I think the issue was that because the wrists haven't hinged,
Mhm.
they're open here.
Yeah. You had no movement to square the club up. Unless, of course, you prematurely did it and then you just fire one left. Yeah. Yeah.
Clear 190.
Great wrist hinge. Great wrist hinge. No slide. No
I
slide.
don't know why I did that.
Well, the club face was just a little bit open. That's all it was. But you can't interfere with the hands. You can't interfere with them. Just let them play. It's too fast. It's too fast to impact to manipulate
Yeah,
it.
we've always had that discussion. Guys
Yes.
say, oh, my hand's behind us. Well, you must be a genius. You must be fast as Superman.
You can't do it. You can't do it. There's no such thing. People say, you know, you can think it, of course, but you can do it, but there'll be no consistency. You'll either do it too much, not enough, too late.
It's not too bad. That I can live with.
That's when you can't interfere with it. Don't interfere with it. Keep the pressure and just trust it. Sure, you might still lose a couple right left at the moment, but that's only because your hands. You've just got to detach yourself to them. Just and think of that left side. You're clearing that left hip. That knee is nothing. That knee is nothing. You can almost switch off that brain a bit. Switch it off, lock it out, and let it go.
We're really trying to pull the knee back.
Sure.
See if